the video review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles MONDO Gecko action figure. The pro skateboarding lizard finally gets to become an action figure of this awesome line. And I say that in quotations. The age limit is obviously ages 4 and up. The card back looks pretty sweet. You got the 4 Ninja Turtles. Looks like they're running into combat and smiling. Why not? Because that's what it's all about. Logo Playmates toys at the bottom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo right there, and of course the Nickelodeon logo. Flip on the back, which I seem to fail at all the freaking time because we're on camera. We got a bio from MONDO Gecko, also letting you know that he doesn't come with any weapons. And here's a little bio for the Ninja Turtles in case you don't know what's going on. Here's some also available figures that are still out there right now. So that's gonna do it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get this figure open and see what we got. Okay. Here's MONDO Gecko. You know, in all honesty, I gotta remember that this is not an adult-oriented figure, okay? This is coming from a company that's relying more on the age limit of toddlers rather than adult consumers. So that being said, the last 5 takes I did on this video were kind of hard to go with, so I'm going to try my best and make this 6th take the one that's going to be uploaded on this channel, and I'm not going to flip out and argue over the fact that this isn't good, this could have been better, because it just doesn't work. That being said, MONDO Gecko as an action figure, in the terms of where he stands, is a pretty good figure. He has 6 points of articulation, and I will show that off real quickly. He's got a swivel neck, ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed legs, and his tail rotates. So you get enough play value out of this figure. But that being said, this figure is not without his flaws. He is just exactly a fine example as compared to the recently released villain figures, you know, under the theme Dimension X, which I talked about. The articulation doesn't suffer as bad as they did, but overall, for a figure that is based off of a character of the show that is supposed to be flexible, you know, he is a pro skateboarder and he likes to pull off some wacky poses. I gotta say, it's unfortunate that they didn't give him any elbow joints or knee joints. Outside of that minor inconvenience that made it into this review, let's talk about his only accessory he comes with, the skateboard. It's a hunk of red plastic, that's all I can really say, with some yellow wheels and it rolls. That's it. It is definitely not accurate to the skateboard that he uses in the show. It's definitely the wrong color. It's got no detail whatsoever. Doesn't seem to be any love for this accessory, but the fact that he does come with this rather than nothing is fortunate enough. And, you know, for good points, the skateboard actually does roll, thanks to the wheels being movable rather than being, you know, just sculpted on like certain Hasbro figures that I'm not going to talk about. And it does have a very sturdy peg on it that can actually fit the holes on the bottom of his feet. And if you're fortunate enough with some balancing, you can actually get him to balance perfectly on the skateboard. So as long as he's standing straight, he'll be fine. But if you try to get any wacky poses out of this figure, well, okay, make me a liar. That's fine, that's fine, that's good points. There, live and learn. I'm learning something new. There we go. Okay, I did not see this coming. So, okay. Not bad. That's pretty cool, the fact that he can actually be posed like this. It's not a good pose because the figure can't really pose too well, but hey, I'll take this over anything. I mean, wow. Pretty good. That was just one serious take there. So, okay, the skateboard is pretty good for what it is. MONDO Gecko is good for what he is. I just gotta remember that this is targeted at a younger age and not my age, so let bygones be bygones, I guess. But still, I want to see Playmates toys improve on a few things for this line. They really got to get out of this 1980s articulation, because it really just bugs the crap out of me, especially when we're talking about Mondo Gecko here. But if I've got any other complaints about this figure, people, I'm just being honest here. If I got any other complaints, it's the fact that his head sculpt is just generic. It's a gecko. What can I say? Of course, Mondo Gecko is a gecko. I get it. But that being said, Mondo Gecko is supposed to be a out-of-whack character, just like Michelangelo, maybe even worse, in a good way. So you think maybe they give him like a sarcastic look, maybe with his tongue sticking out like it's whipping in the wind when he's riding on his skateboard. That would have been something cool, but there's like no emotion for this face sculpt. I do like the eyes though. Pretty cool. Definitely show accurate. I like that. But overall, I mean, this figure does hit some good points, but you know, in all honesty, it's an okay figure. It's okay. That's all I can really say about it. There's really no paint love on this figure, unfortunately, except for the shirt. I like that. Pretty catchy. If you can't see it, I'll let it focus in for a moment. There you go. I do like that, but other than that, there's nothing else, no attention to detail for any paint applications on this figure outside of his shoes being painted and his socks, and for some reason his fingertips are painted white rather than yellow, which I don't understand why. But in all honesty, if they're really going to go all out with all of this white here, white for the fingertips, white for the socks, why couldn't they just paint the bolts on his shoes white? They didn't even bother. That's unfortunate. But I guess it's to be expected because maybe they're breaking the budget. I don't know. I don't know how expensive it is to paint figures over at a warehouse. I don't know. But other than that, it's okay. Like I said, the figure's cool in his ways, but it's just not really for me. That's all I gotta remember. And if I can really remember that, then I got no beef with the figure. But outside of that, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. And yes, I got him on the skateboard, but I'm sure you can tell the difference in size. So here's Fish Face compared to Mondo Gecko. Let's bring in Michelangelo, just because. So there's Mikey. And last but not least, I've got one more figure up my sleeve because he played a major role in that episode as well. Here's Casey Jones. If you can stand. Come on, stand. You're killing time. There we go. So, as you can see, Mondo Gecko is a pretty tall character for what he is, excluding the skateboard people. So he's a little taller than Michelangelo, shorter than Casey Jones, and about even with Fish Face. Maybe. But that being said, in the show, this is definitely not accurate because Mondo Gecko is a tiny gecko. That's it. I think he's actually shorter than Michelangelo in the cartoon. I don't know what else to say about that, but I guess it's just the preference of being a 4-inch action figure. I guess it works for what it is. I mean, who would really want a small action figure of Mondo Gecko, even if it isn't supposed to be show accurate? I don't know. Still, a good figure for what he is, just not my cup of tea, and I'm just going to have to accept that, just like everybody else is going to have to accept that. But there you go, guys. I've got nothing else to say about it. Is the figure worth it? Well, you know, I've seen worse. I could talk about worse, but I'm not going to do it. I'm definitely going to say that this figure is a pickup. Why not? So, there you go. I've got nothing else to say. You got any questions or comments? You know what to do. Just leave them down below. And until the next video review, this is Sonic Ranger signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you whenever you see me.